Talking about health, here is something we do every day that can have a profound effect on us. Breathing. A study published in Psychological Review links proper breathing to brain health, impacting emotion and attention span.
And it found that improper breathing is linked to a higher risk of anxiety and depression. Let's get some tips on how to breathe properly from Travis Steffens, the founder and CEO of the Breath Source app. First, he tells us what motivated him to create the app.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's an honor to be here. So I own a national real estate investment company, and within that company, we have a construction company. We buy big projects, big multifamily properties. And so part of our conscious capitalist efforts is we would take homeless people off the streets for our workforce. We'd house them in the properties, give them the tools for the trade, and we'd train them. And during this process, I would fly around to all the projects and I would teach breath work to them because breath work had such a profound impact on my life and my growth. And they were always asking for better access to the breath work. And I could never get them a video because I couldn't text it to them. They were hour long sometimes. And so I ended up building the Breath Source app for them and having no idea that it would end up going worldwide. And so that's how it was born.
That's really cool. The breath is so powerful. What is proper breathing and what are the health benefits of it?
Yeah, so proper breathing, which is sweeping the country right now because everybody's realizing the health benefits, is breathing first and foremost through the nose. This is the greatest gift we've ever been given. Breath is the first thing we do when we enter the planet. It's the last thing we do when we leave, but we forget about it in between, and yet it's the foundation of health. And so learning to breathe through the nose, so becoming aware of closing our mouths and breathing in the nose and breathing out the nose. And a proper breath is 5.5 to 6 breaths a minute. And in today's society, we're breathing on average 17 to 18 times a minute. And people think, well, that's good, we're breathing more. And it's not good because it creates oxidative stress on the body. And it puts us into the fight or flight side of the nervous system called the parasympathetic.
But it's really interesting, Travis, and Eric Pepper, he's a professor at the Institute for Holistic Health Studies. He says that breathing is often seen as an exchange between oxygen and carbon dioxide, but it's actually a pump that circulates blood and lymph fluid, he says. But how do you know if you've developed this shallow breathing habit, and what are some of the causes?
Yeah, so he's absolutely right. And I have to say on that point, carbon dioxide is the most important molecule to the body, and breathing in and out of the nose properly balances carbon dioxide, nitric oxide, and oxygen. And so shallow breathing is created by pulling the belly in when we breathe in. So the chest goes up and the belly goes in. That's a shallow breath. And what happens is we're oftentimes dropping our mouth and doing that in and out of the mouth, which means we're expelling too much carbon dioxide, not getting enough nitric oxide, if any nitric oxide. So there's a complete gas exchange issue in shallow breathing and not using the nose.
Wow, yeah, and the person who wrote the book, Breathe In, Breathe Out, said that the breath is a bridge between mind and body. Really cool stuff. Do you have any tips on how to start incorporating this breathing technique in your daily life gradually?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just going to, on our app, the Breath Source app, there is a 7-day trial period where you would go in and you would start with the slow breathing process. I also highly recommend Oxygen Advantage and Buteyko. Those are very foundational breathwork exercises. And just from those at home, if you don't want to download an app or anything, it's become very aware of the breath. Breathing in slowly in through the nose for a count of 5, and breathing slowly out through the nose for a count of 6. Now you might see that your lungs fill up too fast. That just means breathe slower so that we only fill up about 70% of our lungs. So becoming conscious, in for 5, out for 6, and only filling up about 70% of your lung capacity.
Excellent tips here. Travis Steffens, founder and CEO of the Breath Source app. Thank you.
Thank you.